Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new and you're stopping by for the first time, welcome. My name is Melissa and I love to do all things crafty on a budget, especially Dollar Tree DIYs, farmhouse decor, and much more. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love it if you would stick around by clicking the red subscribe button and then tap the bell and all to be notified every single time I upload. If you don't click that bell and then all, you will not be notified every single video. YouTube picks and chooses which ones they will alert you on. Also, share this video if you think your family and friends like this type of video. I would greatly appreciate it, and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. Also, I wanted to mention that my P.O. Box information is in the description box, as well as a link to my Facebook group if you would like to join that. So for today's video, I have 7 Dollar Tree Christmas farmhouse decor. I am so excited to be starting Christmas, you guys. I was a little nervous to start it real early, but starting it early gives you plenty of time to get all your crafts in order. So with all that being said, let's jump right into today's DIYs.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want.
Starting off, we are going to do this little joy, I don't even know what you want to call it, I guess floral arrangement. So I had got these square blocks from Dollar Tree and I wasn't too sure what I was going to do, and then I got a really good idea to make them into like a floral arrangement. So my husband had these. This is a keyhole haul key. Oh my god, you guys, I'm drawing a blank. Keyhole saw drill bit. And I just got the size that I wanted. I put it on his drill and I just drilled holes in all 3 of these. Now they are hollow, so if you took a knife to it, I don't think that it would be too hard. I'm sure it would take some time and energy, but if you didn't have this handy dandy tool, then I'm pretty sure you could probably just cut into it. After I cut it, it was a bit frayed because this is such cheap wood. So I just went in with my mini sander and I just sanded down those edges. After I sanded the edges down, then I painted every single block in white Waverly chalk paint. Once they dried and once they were painted and I had them all dried, I just took my natural sponge and some crimson Waverly chalk paint and I just dabbed all around one block. I then took another block and did the same thing with the moss Waverly chalk paint, and then for the 3rd block I just took some gold paint and did the same exact thing. So once I had all my blocks painted, then I took this Arteza glitter, and you guys, this glitter is amazing. I will have a link in the description box below where you can find all of these products that I will be using today. And I just picked out the black glitter because we're going to glitter the letters J and Y to spell out joy. And I love glitter, I just don't love the mess that glitter makes. So I just poured some Mod Podge on a plate. I poured out some glitter, I mixed it together, and then I just painted that right onto my letters. then you'll see in a minute that I wanted to get an even better coat, so I did end up going in with the glitter and pouring it on top of the letters after I did this step. Once I had my letters all nice and glittered up, they look so good, you guys. Again, I'm gonna preface this a bunch of times. These Arteza art supplies are just amazing. Now, they can be a little bit on the pricey side, but they last a really long time. It is high quality craft supplies, and they do have discounts, so that's definitely a plus. But anyway, I just pulled out these, I don't even know what they're called. I got them from Hobby Lobby, and they're a different kind of pine stem, I believe. I'll leave the name of it in the description box, but I did just make a little simple bow, or not bow, I made a little simple wreath. I just put it in a circle, cut it, and then I got these pit berries from Dollar Tree. I made another circle, glued it together, and then I glued it down on top of this little mini wreath. After I had that glued down, then I took some red ribbon. I made a little tiny bow, and then I stuck the bow to the top of this wreath. I got this bow from Walmart, and it is a red buffalo check. Once I had that complete, then I went on and got my letters, and I just glued those down. This was so quick and easy. I think this would go perfect on a tiered tray or your mantle or even your hutch. I'm probably going to put it on my hutch, and it is just so simple and so cute. I'm not really sure if it's my absolute favorite, but you guys can let me know in the comments down below what you think. So moving on to the next project, we're going to make these wreaths for over top of your cabinets. Sorry guys, I had to adjust myself. But anyway, I just took those same pine stems, whatever you want to call them, from the little mini wreath that I just did, and I just cut them down. I originally started by cutting them in half, and then I quickly realized that they were too long, so I cut them down to 4s, and then I took this wreath from Dollar Tree and I just stuck them all the way around, going in the same direction. If you don't like that look, then you can stick them in there however you like. I then got this vase filler from Dollar Tree. These are actually from last year, and I took the pieces out and I just glued them all the way around, and then I took apart some Dollar Tree berries that were on one of the Christmas picks, and I glued those around as well. So in the vase filler, there was these little mini pine cones, so I also did glue those down just in random places, but trying to keep it all cohesive at the same time. That's the fun with these little wreaths. You can change them up how you like them, but I really like the way that this came out. I then just took some larger red buffalo check ribbon from Dollar Tree. I cut a really long piece, wrapped it around, glued the end, and then I glued it down again just to make a cleaner finish. And then I made a simple bow as well. As always, I will link my bow trick in the cards in the right hand corner, just in case you guys have not seen that. And then once I had my bow on there, I glued right at the top where my fingers are pinching it together. And again, another quick, easy, and cheap Dollar Tree Christmas decor. Christmas decor can get really, really expensive, so that's why I love to make it myself, because it's so budget friendly. Next, we are going to move on to this white truck. I made a galvanized truck a while back. but I wanted to make one for Christmas. I saw this white truck. I don't even know where I saw it, but it was so expensive. I think it was like $70 or something totally outrageous, and I knew that I could recreate it for much less. So I just take 2 of the wooden trucks from Dollar Tree and a wooden crate. I pop off those Christmas trees that were on the trucks. I'm not gonna lie, it was a pain in the butt. So just take your time, don't hurt yourself, and if push comes to shove, then just take a utility knife, score it on the edge, and then it will pop right off. I glued them together with some hot glue, and then I just used a clamp to hold it in place, because on the one side I did use some tight bond. And then once I had it together, I took some craft sticks and I measured from the top inside, and then I cut it down. That little tool that I just used, I will link them in my Amazon favorites. I have seen YouTubers use them, and I wanted to give them a try. They worked really good to cut popsicle sticks, so I definitely recommend that tool, but that was not my original idea. I just can't remember where I saw it at. So once I had my pieces cut, then I went ahead and I just put them right on the inside of this truck, as you can see me doing here. Once I had all my popsicle sticks down, I did want to mention that I did use 10 pieces. I was able to get 2 pieces out of 1 stick. But anyway, once I had those glued down, then I did just take my utility knife and I just cut the excess hot glue off. Sometimes when you're working with hot glue, it likes to bubble up, and I didn't want to be able to see that once we paint this. So once I had that all cut down and cleaned up, then I just go in with some white Waverly chalk paint and I give the whole truck a really good coat, except for the back and the wheels, as well as the little crate on the inside. I did paint the back side of the crate, but I wasn't worried about the inside just because you're not going to see it once you put whatever in there. I wanted to put Christmas trees in the back of this truck, but I just didn't have any. They're all packed away right now. I'll be taking everything out soon, and I meant to grab some while I was at Dollar Tree, but I totally forgot. So once I had that all painted, then I went in and I painted the wheels with some ink Waverly chalk paint. You guys can probably hear my little munchkin. She's over in her swing talking away. But anyway, I took some ink Waverly chalk paint and a small brush, and I just made windows in the front of my truck, just like my other truck. If you guys have not seen that video, I did make a galvanized truck. I'm really proud of that one, so I will link that video in the cards on the right hand corner if you want to watch it. So once I had my windows painted, then I did take some Arteza paint markers. You guys, these paint markers are absolutely amazing. They are, again, on the pricey side, but you get a bunch of markers, a bunch of different colors. You get 20 in a pack, and it also comes with a bunch of different tips and tweezers to change the tip. So I really love that feature because I'm always buying different size markers with different size tips. So when you buy these, you don't have to go through all that. So by the time you spend the money to buy different paint pens with different tips, then you probably have already spent the money in just buying this pack with everything included in one pack. So I then just took a white paint pen, and you can see here how amazing these are. Usually when I work with white paint pens, I have to go over it a gazillion times, but with these, I just had to go over it one time. So I just made some hubcaps in the wheels, and then I wanted to test out this brush from Dollar Tree for dry brushing, just because I get questions about my chip brush all the time and they're always sold out. So it did the trick, but I did revert back to my chip brush because I just don't think there's anything that compares to it. I've tried so many different paintbrushes and techniques, and this is by far my favorite. Obviously, if you have been around, then you know, because I use this technique on almost everything. Once I had my truck dry brushed with ink Waverly chalk paint, then I just went in and I made 3 wreaths the same exact way that I made them when we did the little joy arrangement. I started with that pine stem. I went back in with the red pitberry from Dollar Tree, and then I finished it off with a simple red bow. For the truck, I didn't do the buffalo check bow. I ended up using just a regular red. It's really thin, so you get smaller bows, and I did get it from Walmart. So like I said, I repeated this step 3 times. So once I had all my wreaths and bows glued together, then I did just glue them down, one on the back, one on the front, and one on the side. And you guys, I love this truck so much. Let me know in the comments down below, as usual, which project was your favorite, but I'm leaning towards this one. I don't know, we'll have a vote in the comments down below. So next, moving on to this little Noel sign, I took 4 more of these square wooden blocks from Dollar Tree. I took the stickers off, and then I had these stencils from Walmart, and they do come with 2 different sizes on each letter. So I did the N, the O, and the L in the smaller letter, and I traced them on with a pencil. And then for the E, I did do that one in the bigger letter. I just wanted it to look different instead of the same old lettering. And then I went over it with my black Arteza paint pen. Once I had my letters went over in the black paint pen, then I took 2 bows, and it was the red and the green. I got the green from Walmart as well, and that's an even thinner ribbon. I glued the green down to the other ribbon and then glued that over top the O, and then to finish it off, I just put 1s in each corner because I wanted these to kind of look like Scrabble letters. I thought that was really cute and different. So again, another quick and easy Christmas farmhouse DIY that is using Dollar Tree products, and you are saving a ton of money. Next, we're going to work on this little joy sign. So I got these letters J and Y from not Dollar Tree, from Walmart, but they were only 98 cents a piece. And so I had a Christmas tree left over from taking it off of a truck. I laid it out in some large or small stir sticks, and I just measured how big I wanted this little sign. So I marked it, I cut it down with my little mini miter saw. This is also linked in my Amazon favorites, as well as my little finger sander that I'm using here. Once I had them all cut down, then I sanded them on the edges, and then I stained all the pieces with my Jacobian by Minwax. Next, I take some crimson Waverly chalk paint and I give the J and the Y a really good coat of that red color. Once I had those painted, then I went in with my moss Waverly chalk paint and I gave the Christmas tree a good coat of that. While that paint was still wet, I did go in with some white Waverly chalk paint and I just gave that tree a little bit of dimension by just brush stroking it in the direction that the branches would go, and then smoothing it out to just so that way you don't have such harsh lines. And then I let that all dry. So after I let that dry really good, I went in with my pencil and I went around the edges of the letters, and I just wanted to make lines so that way when I go in and I take this Arteza acrylic outdoor paint, it's self-sealing paint, it's really good and smooth and also really thick. I have silver, but it takes literally like 5 coats to get that silver color that I always am trying to achieve. I figured that I wasn't going to be able to outline this with my spray paint like I usually use, so I just, like I said before, traced around the edges just to leave some of the red poking out. And I really love the Arteza paint. You guys know that I usually don't use acrylic paint just because I love the way that chalk paint is matte, but this self-sealing paint is really nice because if you wanted to paint something and leave it outside, you totally could. So again, the link is in the description box for all these products. I am using an Arteza brush. You guys know that I do a lot of detail work, so I'm not sponsored by them, you guys. It is an affiliate link, so I'm not just bragging because they're paying me. I really do enjoy these products, and if you guys want to support me in any way, just by buying art products that you can use will definitely help me, and help me to buy supplies for the upcoming Christmas season. So once I had the silver painted where I outlined, I went in with some Elephant Waverly chalk paint and a natural sponge, and I just took the tip of the sponge and I sponged all around that silver, and then I went in with some white and did the same thing as usual, trying to make this look like galvanized metal. I feel like it maybe would have looked better if I just left it alone after I painted it silver, but let me know in the comments down below if you would leave it silver or if you would galvanize it like this. So once I had those all done, the lettering. Then I went in with my chip brush and some white Waverly chalk paint, and I dry brushed all the way around the tree, just making it look kind of like snow. And then I did the same thing. I dry brushed all the way around my stir stick pieces. I forgot to mention that I did make a simple bow. I glued it to the top of the tree, and I also dry brushed the white on this little handle that I got from Home Depot. They were on sale for like $1.07, so I grabbed a bunch while my husband and I go there all the time because he owns his own business and he does carpentry work and all kinds of stuff. So while he's looking at his stuff, I walk around and grab stuff that I need. So anyway, I glued together the frame with some wood glue and some hot glue. I then took the letters and I glued some Jenga blocks to the back of them. And then for the J, I did just cut a piece of, or I actually had that little piece of dowel rod, so I stuck it on the back of that because the Jenga block was too big. And then I just took some hot glue and glued them down into inside of the frame. Last but not least, I take some hot glue on my handle. We're not going to be really using the handle, so there was no need to screw this down. And then I just glue that down to the top. Another easy DIY. I love the way this turned out. Next project, we're going to work on the little Christmas trees. So I start by laying out some popsicle sticks, and these are the larger ones. My Dollar Tree never has the large popsicle sticks, so I did get these from Walmart, but I see a ton of people using the large popsicle sticks from Dollar Tree. So if your Dollar Tree has them, then definitely pick them up from there. But anyway, you can see what I'm doing here. I just kind of draw out how I wanted my tree. Once I cut them down, I did have to play with the sizing because I didn't really like the way that it looked. So cut them down how you want, and then before you glue anything, just make sure they are looking the way you want them to. And then you can go ahead and take a square dowel rod. This is a smaller square dowel rod, and then you just glue them down. I wanted these to have spaces. I just like the way that looks better, but if you want to butt them up against each other, that's totally your preference. But I just glue them down with some hot glue. I do the same thing for the smaller one. And then I go in with the same stain, my Jacobian from Minwax, and I stain both of the trees, as well as these little stars I got. I've had them in my stash forever. I guess I lost the clip because when I edited I couldn't find it, but I did cut down the smaller star. It was the same size as the bigger star, but I knew that a huge star wouldn't look right on the smaller tree, so I did just take scissors and I just followed the existing lines of the star and cut that down smaller. So we're going to go back into my Arteza glitter. I couldn't wait to use it again. I wanted gold, but I didn't want it to be really bright, so I just went through and I picked out two colors. One is more of like a bronzy brown. I don't even know how to explain it. And then the other one is a gold. So I just took some Mod Podge and I go heavy-handed with this Mod Podge, and then I sprinkle the brighter glitter down first, not covering the entire thing, and then I go in with the bronzy brown color and coat that really, really good. Once I had my stars glittered, I did set them aside to dry, and then we need to make a base, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do for the base, but then I remembered that I did pick up these square pieces, these wooden square pieces from Dollar Tree the other day, so you could probably use something smaller. I should have probably just used like a cut down a stir stick, but this is what I pulled out, and I'm happy with it. It doesn't look dumb or anything, but it probably would look better with a smaller piece. But anyway, I just gave it a really good coat of white Waverly chalk paint. While I had my chalk paint out, I went in with my chip brush to the trees, and I just gave them a coat of the white, not covering it completely and doing it more on some of the pieces and less on others. So while I had my white paint out, I did take this sign from Dollar Tree, and I just gave that a good coat of the white, and before I painted it, I took the sticker off and sanded down the residue, and then vacuumed up the excess. This vacuum, I love, you guys. It is also linked in my Amazon favorites, and I use it every single time I'm crafting, multiple times, because it's just so easy to pull out and vacuum up your mess as you go. I set that aside to dry, and then I took some antique wax and my chip brush, and I just dry brushed the wax all around the edges as well as in the middle of this block. I glued my stars down, and then I glued my trees down right into the middle, and once again this project is done. I am really loving these trees, you guys. I think my favorite is in between these trees and the truck, but as usual I can't ever pick a favorite. But I can't wait to display these little trees. They're so rustic and farmhouse. I could just like scream. I don't even know. But sometimes when you have an idea in your head, it doesn't always come out like you envision it, and this was definitely one of those, but I am actually more pleased with the way it turned out than what I had in my head. It's kind of funny how that happens sometimes, but that's the beauty of crafting. Sometimes you have an idea and it comes out totally different, and it's not always a bad thing. So last but not least, you guys, it's 1:30 in the morning per usual. But you guys, this is when my house is quiet. If I voiced over while my house was not quiet, you guys would probably click off the video and be like, oh my god, that's a madhouse. Anyway, I took this Chalk Couture stencil, and I will leave a link to the website you can get these stencils. They are pricey, but you guys, they're huge, so they're definitely worth it, and you can use chalk paint. So it comes in layers. I did the truck, and then you're supposed to do the red part first, the red buffalo check or whatever color. So do as I say, not as I do. Do the buffalo check first, then paint your truck, and then you do the tree, and then a second layer of the tree to give it some contrast. I then took the tree farm. I didn't have enough room for the whole thing, so I did just stencil on the wording tree farm with my ink Waverly chalk paint, and then I went in with the established and I painted that in the ink Waverly chalk paint as well. To finish this one off, I did just take my chip brush. I dry brushed all the way around the edges, and I love this. You guys know I love trucks. I'm just a sucker for anything with the farmhouse truck. I mean, it could be anything, and I just fall for it every single time. So Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As usual, I sure enjoyed making it. I love each and every one of you with everything I have in me. You guys mean the world to me. I don't know if you know that or not, but I'm here to tell you that I am just so humbled and so glad that I have each and every one of you. I love chatting in the comments down below. Everything you guys do for me by sharing, liking, and commenting. You guys have no idea how much it means to me. So I just wanted to thank you and let you guys know I love you all. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share it with your family if you think they would enjoy it. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have so many Christmas DIY ideas in my head. I just cannot get them all out in one video. I wish I could, because I would be crafting for like 2 weeks straight and not doing anything else, but that's not healthy for anybody. I have kids and a house to take care of, so although I wish I could do that, I definitely cannot. Don't forget my P.O. Box information is in the description box, as well as the Arteza link and the link to my Facebook group. My Facebook group is growing and I'm so excited to have all you guys. So anyway, enough of me rambling. Let me know in the comments what you guys think and which one is your favorite. Introduce yourself if you're new, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I love you all once again, and bye.